Hey, Zach.
Hey, Alex.
And welcome, everyone, to the Pokemon
Power
Podcast. Hi, Zach. Welcome to the show. Oh, we have a new segment. Zach, pick a number 1 through 3.
3.
All right. Well, it's the new segment. We have established on this show, Zach, that you do not think I'm very good at accents. I'm going to prove you wrong.
Oh, no.
So for today's segment, you pick 3. That's Michael Caine.
Oh, man.
I'm Michael Caine. Bruce. Bruce, how dare you? Bruce.
Oh, no.
Bruce, you may be the Batman out on the streets, but in this house, you're my adopted son, and I love you. All right, that's our new segment. Alex tries an accent.
Yeah, Zach gets proved. So just proved wrong.
We're going to do that. Okay, great. I was going to say we're going to do that segment until you agree that I do a good accent.
That's all I have to do to make it stop? It was great.
Okay, welcome to the segment. Welcome to the segment. I've never said that before. Normally, the first segment on the show is apology time. But I'm screwing this up monumentally. I forgot there's another segment we do. Not a segment. It's the like and subscribe jingle.
Here we go.
Like them, subscribe them, and follow them. Leave a review where you don't yell. Pokemon Power Podcast. Zach, I still haven't sent that over to my friend who edits music, who has made music for me in the past. Is a good music producer.
Believe it.
I'm going to leave him nameless for now because I'm sure I will reach out to him and I'll give him plenty of promotion at that point.
Yeah.
But I don't know, Zach. Is there something subconscious going on, do you think? As your friend, psychoanalyze me for a second. Am I just do I want to sing this every week?
I'd say that it's probably you knowing that when you send this to your friend, he will just so eviscerate you and
he'll put so much auto-tune on my voice.
Yeah, he'll actually just re-record it as himself saying it, and then that will be the moment that your kind of world is crushed. So you're just trying to push that back as far as you can.
Well, I feel very confident in my singing voice. Please look up Alex George Sings online. And whatever you find, just I'm sure it's great.
That other person,
I don't know if you'll find anything.
Great.
We are let's head into our segment, Apology Time. Zach, we are humans. We err, and even though we are podcast hosts who present ourselves as professionals, we do want to apologize when we make mistakes. So I want to take I feel like my brain is not processing through things properly, Zach. Have you cast a spell on me or what?
I have. I've been staring through the computer. I think it's because you know that there's specifically one apology that you're unwilling to make because you believe that you're correct on it. And that's from my wife of a previous episode. And she
need to explain. You make me sound terrible right now that your wife wants an apology from me.
She needs specifically to her an apology because in a previous episode, we talk about Batman and what type of Pokemon type he'd be, and you said it's clearly, without a doubt, never will I back down, Batman is flying type. And she says, and I think rightly so, Batman does not fly, he glides. And so, but as I told this to you, and for listeners at home, and I'm looking right at you for the YouTube watchers, Alex refuses to apologize to my wife or even to accept that she has a point. He said he would fight her and even maybe hit her in real life. And I said, please don't do that. I'll have to call the police. And so anyway, that's my apology time for this week.
You are gaslighting me, my friend. The Dixie Chicks wrote a whole album about you. It's called Gaslighter. It's not about Trump. It's about you.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, I won't apologize for that. I did mistakenly say that Nidoran female has a higher Pokédex number than Nidoran male. That is incorrect. I just in the moment, I for whatever reason thought that the Pokemon Company was not going to be progressive, but they're a very progressive company. But just get rid of those genders altogether. Along those lines, Zach, you were demanding an apology from me towards your wife.
Yeah.
I want an apology from you.
Oh, okay.
Because last week I work very hard on this show. I know you work very hard on this show too, Zach. I appreciate all your hard work you put towards this show.
Mm-hmm.
But last week I ran a segment and I said, hey, we should come up with a new name for Nidoran female and Nidoran male. And I worked on this segment. I thought to ourselves, we could have a great segment. We could talk about this. Yeah. And you refused to cooperate with this segment.
On principle.
And you destroyed a segment I worked hard on. And it hurt my feelings. And I don't know if we'll be on equal standing level if you don't apologize.
Let's see. How do apologies work in marriage? I say, I'm sorry that you feel that way.
That's how you apologize in your marriage?
Yeah, that's the right way. That's the way the books always say. Don't ever accept any responsibility. Just say you're sorry that someone feels. I'm sorry that for some reason you feel that way. No, I really am sorry though. I didn't really mean to. I got away from myself in my riffing on Pokemon making these genders really for no reason, and it got away from myself. And I know that you wanted to creatively engage in the topic, and I did the big no for improv, which is saying no. And
I wanted you to say down yes and you said no but.
No. I did. And I genuinely am sorry in some way about that.
Well, that apology was a lot more genuine than I expected it to be. Well, thank you, Zach, for offering that apology after I requested it. Zach, it's time for our icebreaker. You run our icebreakers. Did you prepare an icebreaker for this week?
Absolutely not. In all of our actual pre-show, we didn't talk at all about that. And I was only thinking about and this is my icebreaker right here as I'm making it up on the spot, but it's because I was so excited that on our Instagram, we have over 100 followers now as we're recording.
Yeah, sure.
And that was what was caking up my mind, was just being so excited that over 100 people, maybe most of them bots, I don't know, but
we love you, bots.
Bots are great. I hope you guys are listening. Listen to this computer somewhere in the world, in Russia, listening to this. But anyway, the people that are real, that are following us, it's just cool. It's fun because we're having a lot of fun doing it, and that was what I was thinking about. And so my icebreaker is this, Alex.
Okay.
Do you have any specific memories of something that here's my actual one. I had something in my mind. Now I'm going to change it on the spot. Okay. Here's what it is. What's the longest period of playing a Pokemon game that like you've been playing it, then you got distracted from it and then like didn't come back?
Yeah, I have a very precise answer. I got Pokemon Pearl when I was in high school, and I went to Bible camp. Nice. And I made a commitment at Bible camp. Here's my commitment. I was working up at the camp, and I brought my Nintendo DS up, and I was playing that on, when I could.
When they were like, hey, everyone, could you all read your Bibles now?
I kid you not. I kid you not. It was like one of my counselors was like, hey, man, you should, you love Pokemon. You love, Squirtle, but do you love Jesus? And I was like, I do. And he's like, okay, well, if you do, then here's what you should do. You should commit more time to the Bible than you do to Pokemon. And I was like, all right, that's some
hours. That's some hours to switch around.
What it legitimately came down to was I was like, anytime I play Pokemon, I should read a chapter of the Bible ahead of time. And I just read through the entire scriptures. Yeah, I did read a lot of the Bible. And then it was like, I think when camp ended, I was done at that Bible camp. I stopped reading my Bible, of course, like a lot of kids do.
Classic leaving move.
And then I also stopped playing Pokemon because the two kind of became combined in my head. And I didn't really play through that one. That was Pearl, which I don't want to come up with the dates, but it was when I was in high school, probably when I was 16, so 2006. And I didn't really go back to it until Black and White came out, which I believe was around 2010 or 2011. And at that point, I was like, oh, I should go back and play the last one. I want to bring all my Pokemon over. This is becoming boring. But ultimately, yeah, it was a long break, I guess, around 4 years between my time playing that game. But I dived back in and had a great time.
Wow.
And now I'm a professional Pokemon podcast host. I still love Jesus.
But you've yet to read the Bible again since then.
No, I mean, I got it down the one time. I mean, I didn't read Harry Potter twice, so.
Yeah, exactly. I got the story.
I shouldn't compare the two. A book that people revere quite.
And we've been canceled by the
book people revere quite well, and the Bible.
Yeah. Nobody's mad at Harry Potter at all, ever, or the creator writer.
J.K. Rowling is, canceled on Twitter, but God, he's still there. He hasn't been canceled yet. Hasn't been canceled yet. He's never saying anything about trans people. So
he died once. One guy said that he died. But I mean, he's still around, I think.
One guy, I remember 4 people saying that, and then.
But then they made a movie about him not being dead. So honestly, I don't know where we're supposed to fall on that.
This is going in a weird direction, Zach.
Hey, let me tell you what mine is. So here's mine. I recklessly do not finish Pokemon games in my life. One was I found like a Heart Gold, like the newer version of like Gold or whatever it is. I think it's Heart Gold, and I found it. I didn't buy it. So this is like, I didn't have like a financial investment of finishing it ever. And so I found it and I started it. And actually an old student of mine ever listens to this, I have that copy. I feel like someone was looking for it. And I hope that you find this podcast and I'll give it to you. It's somewhere in a bag of old DS games. So that's never been finished because I didn't have financial investment in finishing it. I just kind of like, I liked the original Gold. I already got that one. And I played that like 5 times. The other one is I still have yet to finish X and Y, or X, whichever one I have.
Really?
Because, and I'll tell you this is why. What happened was I was like crushing it because you get to have like experience share for every Pokemon. And it was like, it felt like a little easier than my other experiences or even comparing it to Black. And so I was like, I felt like I was going too fast through it. So I was like, I'll just take a break. I'll play like another game because I don't want to beat it already. I want to take my time with it. Then what that did was, I just never finished it. I've been taking my time for now 7 years now of never finishing that game. Whenever it came out and I got it, I still have not finished it. So I'm making a pact right now. Before I buy the Nintendo Switch, whatever Pokemon game that you've been bothering about for me getting on Switch,
Shield, yes,
I'll finish X first, which means I have to find my charger to my 3DS.
My concern, Zach, is that you're now basically just saying on the podcast, you're not only not going to play the one, you're not only not going to play Shield, you're never going to play another Pokemon game.
It's much more honorable than that. I'm saying I will finish this other first. I will only continue on if I finish this other first.
Great.
Thank you.
My brain's only working at half capacity right now.
I'm firing on 20 cylinders, so I'm ready.
You're firing on enough cylinders for the both of us.
Put that Pokemon in front of me. I'm ready to elucidate it.
Oh, I do want to say, I feel as though me comparing the Bible to Harry Potter may make my parents want to call me and with concern. Yeah, I know the difference.
Guys, both of us have either working in churches currently or in the past. And side note for us, if you get to know us at all personally, we like the church. We like Jesus. That's what
we like. Some churches.
Some
like churches are bad.
The big church, the big C church, the global church, not specific to some that maybe we.
This is going in a weird direction.
Talk about some Pokemon.
I like Jesus. He's my savior. Anyway, gotta elucidate them all, Zach.
I'd love to.
This is a segment where we pull up a Pokemon, put them on the screen for the listeners at home. You can play along with Zach. I'm going to put up a Pokemon. Zach, do you know what Pokemon we're talking about today?
Absolutely not.
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to put that Pokemon up on the screen. We're going to give you 30 seconds without saying the name of that Pokemon and the name of any other Pokemon. You're going to try and describe this Pokemon for the listener. For the viewer, they get to laugh and laugh seeing you struggle to do so. But maybe you'll succeed. Maybe you'll do a great job, and everyone will know exactly what Pokemon we're talking about. Zach, are you ready?
Let's do it.
I'm bringing it up on the screen. I'm going to put the seconds at 30. Let's do this. Here you go.
Oh man, here we go. What I'm looking at here is a giant boulder with arms. This is kind of like a turtle almost, except instead of having a shell, it's a giant boulder with a little turtle head poking out, some hands jumping out at you with 3 fingers with big old claws on them,
10
and then
seconds.
some big old legs poking out of the bottom of that boulder, just yelling at you.
Okay, you had 4 seconds left. But I do have one thing I want to say before we even talk about which Pokemon this is. You said he has big old legs?
Yeah, look at those things, those haunches that he's on there.
He's got stubby little legs.
Yeah, but they're muscular. I'm saying they're haunches, you know? They're like they're I mean, they're not small legs. They're not stick legs.
For the listener at home, Zach, who's that Pokemon?
Oh, Golder.
Golder?
Yeah, I don't remember his name. Sorry.
Golem.
Yeah, there it is. Hey, I had a G, so that's pretty good.
And Zach, I do want to bring this up immediately because we have a new segment we're going to do today. I want to bring up immediately. There is an Alolan version of Golem.
Okay.
Alolan being the region focused on in Sun and Moon. And there were some of the Cantonian Pokemon over there in new versions. And we're going to talk about the differences here. This is the Alolan Golem. How would you describe the Alolan Golem to the listener if they're unaware?
What is wrong with him? That's the first thing. Okay, it looks like the same Pokemon, but they made like the evil Wario version of him, and he has a big tuft of chest hair in front of him.
I would say that's a beard.
No, it's a big tuft of chest hair, and then he has a little Wario mustache, and then giant eyebrows. So it's like a caricature of an evil version of Golem. And then he has some kind of spike monstrosity on his back. I mean, it's uncomfortable to look at for me personally.
Okay. So you're uncomfortable. I love this design. He has a mustache. He has eyebrows. He has kind of like a magnet-looking thing on his back. And then I think this is a beard. You're saying it's a tuft of chest hair.
It's a tuft of chest hair.
But he has he kind of looks like he has hair on him. And that's the big difference between the Alolan version of Golem and the Kanto version of Golem. And we're going to talk about those differences in a new segment we're starting today called Version Aversion. Version Aversion. Across the Pokemon games, we will see different versions of the same Pokemon. Sometimes they differ by region. Sometimes they mega evolve. Regardless, on our podcast, only one Pokemon can reign supreme. So to which version do we have an aversion? And Zach, I think off the front end, you're saying you have an aversion with the Alolan type.
Whatever it was, it's freaky. Yeah, I don't want Pokemon with mustaches like that. No thanks.
Okay. So let's just real quick run a review because there is a difference in type. The difference in type goes like this. The Kanto version is rock and ground.
Yep, makes sense. It's a giant rock.
And the Alolan version is rock and electric.
No.
What?
I refuse.
Okay, this is going to be a good segment because we're coming from opposite ends. And conflict makes good content. So we're in a conflicting point to start. I think rock and electric, great combination there. I mean, if you're just like, you're a little nervous because you're like, electric, it doesn't do any damage, but hey, they're coming on opposite ends, but he has a little bit of both. A little bit of everything.
I might get the reason why I refuse this. It's when the game became almost endlessly confusing because now it was like rock against water and which one is bad, or water against electric. This is what works. So now it's like double positive negatives, and it seems like there's some kind of it's a conspiracy for me to understand who's good against what. It's not clear anymore. So that's why I disagree, and I don't want it. I don't like it.
Okay. Well, let's look at some of the Pokédex entries between the two of them. I'm going to give us 3 from both, and see which one you prefer. Okay.
Great.
So for Kanto, this is for the Kanto one. I guess you would call him the regular Golem, because you're biased in that way. I would call him the Kanto type.
Yeah.
But the Kanto Golem from Sapphire. Golem is known for rolling down from mountains. To prevent them from rolling into the homes of people downhill, grooves have been dug into the sides of mountains to serve as guideways for diverting this Pokemon's course.
I don't understand what's happening.
So he is hanging out in the mountains. Golem's up in the mountains. Golem. And then he's like, I want to go roll. It's fun to roll down a mountain. I'm going to roll. And he's so big. He's 660 pounds. He's so big. He starts rolling down the mountain. And if they hadn't built these little these grooves into the mountain, the people, he would have rolled straight into your home, knocked it over. How's that for breakfast? Golem comes and knocks your house down. But they built these grooves, so then you can kind of just look up at the mountains and you can see these golems kind of like flying down the hills, not hitting you. I think that's kind of cool. I like that.
It's beautiful.
I like it's so people beautiful. And Pokemon working together. The golems are having a good time. People are probably having a good time watching it. I like it. Kanto Pokemon, Kanto Golem, that's a point for you. This is for the Alolan type.
I love it so much. And you know why I love it is because it's one of the weirdest things that I've ever heard. And I don't understand it. I don't understand the use of it, but I love it. And I just do.
But if you
pause, I have to leave right now.
Okay.
I'll be right back. Just leave everything rolling.
Okay. I once again have upset Zach. He's left the podcast. I have very little water left in my jug. For the listener, I drink out of a jug during this show. Let's see if I can get a good audible gulp while Zach is away. I hope this fulfills your ASMR desires. The Pokemon presentation, I thought about doing an extra episode. We're recording this on October 5th. I believe it was this last week that we had the presentation on the Crown Tundra DLC. And I thought that presentation was bad. So I didn't I didn't shoot anything for it. I at one point during it, I was like, maybe I'll do like an Instagram live, like just response to this. And I was like, there's absolutely nothing to respond to except for that cool music video from a band called like Bump the Chicken. But that music video is great. It's a little focused on Sword and Shield, but I mean that's just the way of life, it's always going to focus on the newer stuff. If there's a Star Wars music video that came out right now, they're going to focus on Rey, Finn, and Poe, maybe Rose, depending on who directed it. Directed by that scoundrel J.J. Abrams. I don't think so, but maybe by friend of the podcast, Ryan Johnson. I don't know if we should talk about Star Wars on this show. I feel like that's a hotbed for people to get upset. Zach is still gone, and we may just cut all this. Maybe we'll keep it because it's good stuff. Me talking about Star Wars by myself. Here's my list of Star Wars movies in order of least favorite to favorite. Least favorite, gotta be Attack of the Clones. Bad film. There's a scene in that where C-3PO is like, he's getting his head put on a droid's body, and he's just making pun after pun. And it's so groan-inducing. It's like the cringiest thing possible. You can watch Phantom Menace and you'll say, oh, Jar Jar Binks, I don't like him, but you'll probably laugh at one thing he does. You'll just something in there will get you. C-3PO going through that factory line making pun after pun is awful. I would rather be shot through the hand than watch that. I have no plans to ever watch that again. I have no plans to watch Attack of the Clones. From there, I think it goes Phantom Menace, Revenge of the Sith. I'm so sorry, Ryan Johnson, but then probably Last Jedi. I'm not a fan. Then what's the new one? The Last Skywalker. Return of Skywalker, Revenge of Skywalker. I don't know, whatever the new one's called. Then I'd say Return of the Jedi. Force Awakens. I do like Force Awakens more than like Return of the Jedi. I think it's a very good throwback. Has a lot of the swashbuckling that you look forward to in Star Wars. And then A New Hope and Return of the Empire Strikes Back. I don't know why I was screwing that name up. It's my favorite one, but yeah, that movie does so much. And I think oftentimes when you watch something, your desire is to have the whole gang together. Lost would do this. The show Lost is they would split the gang up. You'd have the whole season. You'd be like, here's Jack's group, here's John Locke's group, and it's like they're gonna have a conflict at the end. It's like, no, keep them all together, because that's what's great. You keep John Locke and Jack together, and they are. I've just been chatting while you've been gone.
Oh my gosh!
You keep John Locke and Jack together, and you can use this for something.
That's great. I can't wait.
You keep them together, and then it's like you get all that conflict, and then Lost is like, well, we can't just keep this going all the time. So they split them up for like a whole season, and then only bring them together for the finales. And it kind of made this desire of like, I want to see everyone together. I want to see everyone together. But Star Wars, what Empire Strikes Back does so well is they're together, and what they're doing is so fascinating that you're like, you don't even have that desire. Like at the end of the movie, when Luke finally goes and he's like chasing after them, he's kind of getting to where they're at in Cloud City. Like that whole time up to that, you're like, oh, I was having such a good time watching him with Yoda that I wasn't even thinking about this. I was having such a good time seeing Solo interact with Lando, and seeing this whole him and Leia fall in love, that I wasn't even thinking about like, oh, Luke isn't there. Like you just had a great time watching both of them, and for that to accomplish it is something that not a whole lot of media can accomplish. Just absolutely masterful filmmaking, and I'm just mentioning one thing I really like about it. Anyway,
I can't believe that I leave and then you start bad mouthing Lost while I'm gone.
I didn't badmouth Lost. I was
just trying to imply that anything is not good about it. Okay, even the last season, I swear. If you
Zach, I like the last season of Lost. I like all of Lost. I'm a born again Christian, Zach. Of course, I like Lost.
Better.
There's a character in that show whose name is Christian Shepherd. I mean,
so
they may as well have just named his character like Mr. Jesus.
Mr. Wildly Drunken and Unstable Jesus.
Yes. Okay.
And cut it to what the next Pokedex entry you're about to say, because then I can cut everything.
Alolan Moon. This is the Alolan Golem and the Moon Pokédex. Because it can't fire boulders at a rapid pace, it will shoot boulders out of, basically at its enemies. It can't do it so quickly. It's been known to seize nearby Geodudes and fire them from its back.
Okay, this is Mustache Guy we're talking about, right?
This is the Mustache Guy, yes.
So that weird thing that's on his back, he uses that to throw smaller Pokemon, smaller versions of himself.
I believe essentially I believe what he's doing is that's a magnet.
He grabs his own children and throws.
That's a magnet. He grabs the Geodudes and the Gravelers presumably, and once he gets them, he just whips them. Which reminds me of Zach. I know you played Breath of the Wild.
Of course, yes.
I love in Breath of the Wild when the big hulking moblins, I don't know if they're still moblins, but they grab the little moblins and they just whip them at Link. It's such an enjoyable little thing to happen. I wish you saw this when this happened in Pokemon. You would see a Golem just be like, I got nothing, and he grabs a Geodude and just whips it at your Pokemon. I would love to see that.
Yeah. So what I'm picturing is a little Geodude just sitting there with his crayons trying to draw something, and his dad's over there yelling and screaming again, Mustache Dad, and he goes over there and just rips him up, just throws the little his own child at you, is what I see. And again, it's another reason why I don't like Mustache Golem is what.
Okay, all right. I mean,
you think it's cool. You think it's so cool that he'd throw living beings like that, and you get mad at me when I just want to throw a regular rock at a Pokemon.
I don't.
And they're throwing entire Pokemons that are rocks.
I don't get angry at an insect for biting me. If a mosquito has to suck my blood to live. That's just the ecosystem doing what it's going to do.
Just to give me West Nile virus. That's just the way it is. I'm not mad at him.
If you gotta eat bat and you get that COVID, I mean, that's just the ecosystem doing what it's gonna do. All right, let's move on. This episode's going way off the rails.
Yeah.
I've talked about Christianity way too much for this Pokemon podcast. This is the Kanto one in the yellow Pokedex. Once it sheds its skin, it says it sheds its skin once a year. Its body turns tender and whitish. Its hide hardens when it's exposed to air. So it sheds its rock exterior once a year. It's white and tender underneath, and then it hardens when it's exposed to air.
What? You're just telling me this is regular Golem.
This is a once a year experience. It says it grows a little bit during this time.
I just don't even want to. I don't want to think about it. I'm already imagining it because it was so descriptive of what's happening.
The description of tender.
Tender.
I mean, that's how I like my chicken. I like my chicken white and tender.
It's interesting in the sense that it's adding this whole element to a Pokemon that I didn't think about that way. Like the rock is a type of shell skin that is going around this type of turtle snake Pokemon thing that's happening then. So, I mean, on that level of it, I appreciate the attempt to realism.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I could emphasize enough how uncomfortable that realism makes me. It's like a couple of those scenes on like Planet Earth that you go through and you're like, I didn't want to know that. I didn't want to know that thing about nature.
You see the snakes like mating in a big pile and you're like,
I didn't even know that.
This is David Attenborough. You are narrating this filth.
Yeah, this is awful. This was supposed to be hidden from nature.
I will say, Zach, we're at complete opposite ends of the spectrum here. I love this.
I love it. The tender,
I love it.
White.
I'm white.
Skin.
I'm white and tender. Why would I hate this guy for being white and tender? Alolan. This is for the Alolan one from Ultra Sun. It says, and I love this description. It's grumpy and stubborn. If you upset it, it discharges electricity from the surface of its body and growls with a voice like thunder.
Ooh, that's actually the first one that I legitimately think is really cool.
Right.
Golem. He already looks grumpy. He's got those big old eyebrows. And the growl like thunder while you're like emitting some kind of like lightning at who you're grumpy with. I like that. I appreciate that fact. So thank you for giving me one fact that doesn't either disgust me or make me angry. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, I love it. Voice like thunder. Sounds like my good friend Thor from the Marvel Universe.
Mustache Golem is the Thor of Pokemon.
So we're 2 out of 3 for each of them. It sounds like you're still leaning towards Kanto, even though you do like that one.
I do really like him being grumpy because I can understand that feeling in the world.
Sure,
I'm grumpy. I actually do like the facial hair, and I actually like the representation of the hairy chest. So I'm actually leaning towards. It didn't sound like it at the beginning, but I am leaning towards Mustache Golem.
Wow. Okay. So I got a couple more here. Kanto Sun. So this is the Cantonian type. Its body can survive dynamite blasts without a single scratch, but it hates rain and humidity. I love that description. It's like, you're like talking about a great athlete.
Yeah.
And you're like, Bo Jackson, is an excellent football player. He dominates the baseball field, but his skin gets ashy. And it's just like, who cares? Like, if you can survive a dynamite blast, like,
I'm actually
who cares what else is going on?
I'm hearing that as it's saying, actually, both golems are grumpy old men is what they are.
Yes,
Not only
I do think that's true.
One is grabbing the small children around it to throw them as projectiles because he's just like, I'm just who are you? Great, I'm throwing that little guy at you because I'm grumpy. And then also I growl like thunder when you're bothering me, and I might just shoot a little electric charge at you. Now it goes to other golem OG Golem, and he's like, hey guys, this dude, he's indestructible. Nothing can stop him. But you know what really, really makes him mad though?
Rain and humidity.
And you know what? You know exactly what I'm talking about. That humid, you're in a, rainforest climate. He's just not having it. He's not having it. He's just a grumpy dude. And then once a year, he's got to shed off all of his cool exterior. I mean, the poor guy. He's living a terrible life, I guess.
Okay, and I got one more. And this is actually from the anime. This is for the Alolan Golem. And it says, it uses electricity to launch rocks and stones, as we've learned. And it says, in its eyebrows and mustache are gathered iron fillings. So it looks like, an eyebrow. It looks like a mustache, but all it really is it's iron that's been attracted to his body because he's magnetic.
Okay. Yeah. And that also means that's the chest hair as well. I'm assuming, or that's actual chest hair. Actually,
I have seen an episode of the anime where there's, I think, like 2 golems having a manliness competition, and they're trying to steal the hair off of each other. So I just have this idea that there should be like just more and more types of Alolan golems, and they have like wild types of hair. I would love that.
Yeah. That's actually, and again, I actually really, really appreciate that, because then it is actually the attempt toward realism that's actually, I think, really effective, which is it's electric type, and being an electric type, it's attracting like these like metal fillings from the ground and the earth around them where they live up in the mountainous regions. So you know what? I give that a 10 points.
Okay. 10 points for that fact, or 10 points period? I do want to say you've kind of gone back and forth. I want to just put my opinion out here, because I think I've been a little more straightforward. I love Alolan Golem. I think this is excellence in design. He just looks so charming, so silly. I think this is he fits in with the original Golem. He doesn't look too different, but he's not so boring like when we saw Mega Kangaskhan Khan, which is just like the baby and the child separated. Like it does look interesting. And I like all the facts that we read about him, all the Pokedex facts. I like that he's electric and rock. There's just a lot of interesting stuff going on there. I think he just took a kind of standard Pokemon and made him really interesting. So I highly prefer this. I have a version of the original Golem. What about yourself?
Now that we've went through it, I think originally I was taken aback by the mustache, and the arms are shorter in the little picture that you showed. So
you're right. That's true.
Stubby arms. And I was just like, no, that's not my Golem. Okay. That's not my Golem. But now that we've read about them, and I actually look more at original Golem, I can't not see his pale, tender skin now. And I get why this Golem, being electric, is trying to attract some, fillings to give himself a mustache and some eyebrows. I empathize with the hairy Golem now, otherwise known as Mustache Golem. And actually, I like what they did with combining ground type or rock type and electric, and kind of like leaned into a lot of those things, and also imagining that he's throwing those things with also his strength but also electricity is pretty cool. So I
like throwing rocks, he likes throwing rocks, rock type Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean, and I get that. I totally get wanting to actually just throw a whole Pokemon sometimes. So I'm actually going to side with you, Alex. You've officially turned me to your point of view, and I am now averse to gross, sickly, white, pale skin things. I mean, that Pokemon.
Me too. Even before this, I was adverse to those sorts of things. Well, Zach, this has been a really friendly podcast. You apologized to me. You came around to my way of seeing things. So let me just issue one more thing here.
Great.
Sydney, Zach's wife, I'm so sorry. You know what? I made a presumption that people would be on the same page with me about Batman, Q-Bat, as we like to call him, the Pokemon version of Batman, having flying type. You know what? I don't think that's as cut as dry. I'm going to say Q-Bat's Mega Evolution has flying type.
Okay.
And his standard evolution, he's dark. And I'm also going to go fighting type. Okay. He has that fighting down. But let's not tarry any longer on that. I do want to do a very quick segment of Pokemon Producer. In this case, we are just trying to come up with a new product for Pokemon. I have an idea it was in my brain all week long, and I wanted to touch upon this. You know, like those toys, I think they're called like Harry Henry or something like that.
Yes. My gosh.
You take
Perfect.
a magnet for the kids, for the people who are listening, who aren't a child, who don't know what this is. You take a magnet and you make little hair designs on a face. And I just think that would be perfect for the Alolan Golem. You just take that, you kind of make little different designs. You can make the angry eyebrows, you can make the mustache, but you can also do, whatever wacky hair you want to do.
That's so amazing. I could not come up with anything better than that in my life, because that's absolutely perfect. You could rent him for like fairs, for like the county, like the city fairs and stuff like that. The town fair. Like, hey, and guess what? We have this great, really kind, slightly grumpy Golem, but not too grumpy Golem, and he's going to sit there, and the kids can go up, and you pay $1 to the Pokemon Sanctuary Fund, and you get to have a big old magnet, and you just drag his hair, and you just see this like really sad, grumpy Golem just kind of sitting there while people are making big mustaches and a big beard and like messing up his chest hair and stuff. I love it. I want that to be like a 5-minute bit in the like anime or something.
Sure.
I'm all for it. That would be so great, because that's perfect.
I had that thought and I couldn't release it from my brain, so I was like, we have to do Pokemon Producer just so I can say that idea. Before we go to the Pokeball decision, do you have you said you couldn't come up with a better one, so let's not. I want to give a couple quick well, thank you. This is the kindest podcast we've had. Started out on a really contentious note, and look how far we've come.
I know.
I want to do some quick trivia before we go into the Pokeball decision. Number one, I whenever we find out the name of the designer, I like to give him a shout out. Hitoshi Ariga is the designer of Alolan Golem. We don't have the original as far as I could find it. If you do, text me. You can find my number. Tweet at me, obviously. I would love to give them a shout out. But this guy's the designer of Drampa, a Pokemon that me and you both have quite a fair amount of affection for. So Hitoshi Ariga, I think you're one of the greats. You seem to be a newer member to the Pokemon team, starting, I believe, with X and Y. Thank you for giving us the gift of Alolan Golem, and I hope that they do that Harry Henry version of Golem just for you. Love to see that.
That's so great. Hitoshi, I don't know you, but I want to say thank you, because originally, sometimes when the new versions come out, I'm an old fogey myself, and I don't like to change, but you showed me that it was possible, that I could like something that's new, that's equally as grumpy as I am, and has adorable magnetic facial hair. And now that I'm thinking about it, Pokemon, why haven't you made the Pokemon version of the Harry Henry or whatever that you could buy in a little package with that little Golem face on it, and you just drag magnet stuff out? And like, why not? I mean, at least 5 of those would get sold. I'd buy 2 of them.
You're leaving money on the table, Pokemon. One other thing I want to bring up, which I thought was fascinating, between red, blue, and yellow, Golem is the only Pokemon that cannot ever be seen without trading. So the only way you can see your enemies don't have him. He only evolves, and Graveler only evolves into Golem if you trade him.
Yeah.
You will only see him if you trade. That's the only way you'll ever see him between those 3 games. Which I just think is absolutely fascinating. I think it would be such a cool surprise seeing him for the first time, which for that reason, I want to head into the Pokeball decision.
Woo!
The Pokeball decision is the segment where we decide how badly do we want. We don't take rarity into consideration. We just take how badly do we want this Pokemon. Do we want a Pokeball, Great Ball, Ultra Ball? We can use 1 Master Ball a season. You also have the options to flee or throw a rock at it. Zach, I want to hear, where are you at? I mean, you started off at least with a Alolan Golem, not at all excited, and then you seem to kind of come around to it. Where are you at right now?
You know what? I'll tell you what I want to do. I want to throw a rock with Golem. I want to go hang out with a Alolan Golem and pick up a Golem that probably weighs like 300 pounds. So I probably can't pick up just a regular one, but I find one and we just throw them together and we just laugh about how grumpy we are. I'm going to say they're strong. They always were, like in the games, Golems. It was one of them that, like, to have to trade to get Like those were always interesting to me. Like what a commitment to have to do. Like you're going to say the only way to get this Pokemon is you have to like hang out with somebody and trade, or have like 2 Game Boys, or you do whatever kind of trick you're trying to do to trade to get them. So I always thought that was interesting. And it implied that there was like, hey, this is like, they're powerful, they're strong. And so I would do that for some of those Pokemon, not all of them, but I did actually like original Golem. And now I'm a big fan of Alolan Golem, and I'm going Ultra Ball.
Wonderful to hear. I'm glad to hear your change of heart there.
Yeah, thank you.
Just so you know, if you're going to throw a Geodude with Golem, those weigh 44 pounds. I think
really?
you can toss it.
Nice,
44
okay.
pounds. It's
Perfect.
like throwing one of your kids.
Yeah, and we all do that all the time.
I am going to go Ultra Ball as well. I love, and I will make a distinction here. Here's my distinction. If I get an Alolan Golem, which we decided we both prefer, I'm going to Ultra Ball. If I get a regular Golem, I think I'm just going Pokeball.
Really?
I think
you see it in the wild? That seems strange enough. I'm going to probably go Great Ball.
I see it in the wild. You know what? I just think like this guy, he doesn't like rain. He doesn't like humidity. As you can tell, I'm a very tan young man who
white
loves,
and tender.
Yeah, I just think like, I like my grumps. If you're a grump, we can hang. But if you're a grump and you got, you don't got any chill, like a Alolan Golem, I don't know if I want to hang. I want to do shot puts with Golem. I want to speak with our voices of thunder. I enjoy him quite a bit. He has a much better mustache and beard than me, and eyebrows. I think you might be right that it's a tuft of chest hair. Either way, I'm a very hairless man. Not on a alopecia like level, but I'm just a regular. I don't know. I guess I'm not hairless in a regular way.
Anyway.
I'm going Ultra Ball. You're going Ultra Ball as well, with perhaps a distinction if it's the Kanto version, but we both love that Alolan one. Zach, it's time for the Pokemon Power Ranking. This is our 13th main episode of the Pokemon Power Podcast, and reading through the list has become unwieldy. If you want a refresher on the entire list, you can check our Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter at all, which are at Pokepowpod, where we post the updated power ranking along with a lot of other things weekly. So I'm going to pull that up here for our viewers. They'll be able to see that as well. Zach, where do you think we should put the Golem at this point?
I mean, he's a big baddie. He's a third evolution. He's a big guy. I mean, I'm thinking without looking a top 5 as far as power. And so what's the top 5 right now?
Snorlax, Arbok, Primeape, Pikachu, Kangaskhan.
My first reaction, which is what you should always go with in your standardized test, is to put him at number 5, right above Kangaskhan. Where are you at?
Zach, I'm willing to go in the number 2 spot.
Whoa. Okay.
I even actually thought to myself going into this episode, I thought we actually finally have a contender.
Really? Okay.
He's explosive. He's covered all his bases type wise. He is grumpy. I feel like he has the will of a champion, that he can just take down whatever's in front of him. As I considered more and more, I just thought, if he uses some big move and it doesn't devastate Snorlax, which I think is a very good possibility, I don't think he can take him down. I definitely think he can beat Pikachu, because Pikachu's got that electric type. He's not really going to affect that Golem too much. Primeape is a fighter, but you know what? Golem's body's made of rocks. Maybe he catches him when his skin is white and tender, possibly, but we never see him that way. He's just hanging out in the Pokeball when it's that way. He won't even come out to see you if his skin's white and tender. But he's going to come out and fight with those rocks. He's going to fire Geodudes and boulders at his enemies. And I just think Arbok, he's big. I don't know if he can squeeze the life out of a big rock Pokemon like that. And even if he had those poison bites, he's biting into rocks. I don't think he's going to make any dent. I want to go for the number 2 spot here. I think Golem is a champion. And I think Hitoshi Ariga, is he Koji Nishino? I'm judging people here. I shouldn't do that on the show.
Yeah.
I think he's great. Hitoshi Ariga seems to be a great guy, great person who I don't know anything personally. I'm just talking about his design ability.
Yeah,
I like the Pokemon he designs, and I think he deserves a spot in the hall of great Pokemon people, along with Koji Nishino. I want to put him in the number 2 spot. What's your argument against that?
We're talking about OG, right?
Both. We get both here.
I think both.
Because in the same way that when we consider Pikachu, we consider his Mega Evolution, we consider his Z move. When we think about Kangaskhan, we think about her Mega Evolution there. When we're talking about... did I say Mega Evolution for Pikachu? I meant Gigantamax. But when we think about those things, they're all considered. But so I think we do get the alternate version here as well. We get to take both those into consideration.
I mean, I think I understand. I understand where you're coming from, and I think the type basis of like Pikachu going against ground type / ground and electric makes sense. He's a big baddie. I mean, I was saying top 5, that he would be in the top 5. I think you made a great case. I think you made a great case for number 2. I still think that Snorlax is just too big. He's too big to fail, in the great words of Pokemon, too big to fail. And but I think Primeape, I think you made a great case. I can't disagree with you, because I am the Pokemon dummy. So.
Don't you have a great opinion? If you think Primeape can beat our Golem here, I'd love to hear the argument.
I already told you I'm just the dummy. I'm just the dummy, Alex, and I can't do it.
You know
I can't
what?
Fight you on it.
When you feel strongly, I know you will come out and you will fight me on it, much like you do with Victory Bell.
I think that it's good. I think that it's good. I think number 2 is good for him.
Wonderful. I'm making it official. Golem, you're in the number 2 spot. Huge shout out to Golem. Huge shout out to Hitoshi Ariga. Zach, do you want to say anything in closing?
I'm glad again that I learned something about magnetic facial hair and chest hair, something that I would have never guessed in a million years would be what I was going to talk about with you tonight, which is magnetic facial hair and body hair on a Pokemon. But I did, and I'm better for it. And I think for everyone listening or watching today, learn something new every day. Take time to grow. And you know what? If you have never played with a Harry Henry toy thing, just try it. It's pretty silly. It's pretty fun, playing with iron filling, stuff like that. It's silly. Just be silly today. And that's what I have today.
I would like to close out by saying I regret not looking up the name of that toy ahead of time, because Harry Henry could be nothing. People could be looking that up and finding absolutely nothing, having no idea what we're talking about.
What are they talking about?
But if I nailed it, that'll be exciting too. And, that's the way of the world. We find out different things. Zach, are you Googling it very quickly?
I'm trying to find it, and it's definitely not Harry Henry.
Don't Google Harry Henry.
Nothing's coming. Nah,
you may find something upsetting.
You're getting, it said Harry Henry, and it's like Harry Potter Clue game. Is that what you meant? Clue Harry Potter game.
Yeah, make a Harry Potter Clue game starring Golem from Pokemon, the Alolan version to be specific.
Woolly Willy, guys. That's the name of it.
Woolly Willy?
Yep, that's the name of it. Woolly Willy.
Terrible name.
It's honestly worse than what we thought.
Rename. So that's my second producer note. Change the name to Harry Henry and make
yeah, Willy Willy is so much worse, but that is the thing that we're talking about.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
We're sorry. This episode is insanity. As always, the Pokemon Power Podcast would like to thank bulbapd.bulbagarden.net, Cerebia.org, and Dr. Lava YT. If you'd like to learn more about Pokemon, those would be great resources for you. If you'd like to ask us a question about next week's Pokemon, submit a game, or just keep up with us on the podcast, you can find us on most social media platforms at Pokepowpod. And Zach, as always, I would like to say, if you're a listener, whether you believe in Jesus, whether you don't, we welcome
whether you have magnetic hair on you,
whether you have magnetic hair or you don't, even if you're white and tender, or you're brown and crispy. We choose you.
Yeah, we would.
Have a great day. Bye, guys.
Bye.